Ladies and gentlemen, as you guys know, if you follow the channel, generally speaking every Sunday or at least every weekend, I like to upload a story video about Call of Duty. And generally speaking, that's looking at the full story of a character or something specific. However, today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. We're still going to be diving into the background of a character that I haven't yet covered on the channel, but we're specifically going to be answering the question, where are they now? This is a character that we thought died at the end of Black Ops 1, and when Black Ops Cold War was released, I uploaded a video saying, this character very well might be alive, and we're going to discuss why I thought that, but now we have proof. Ladies and gentlemen, Nikita Dragovich is alive. Now, that name may mean nothing to you, so let's start off with the question, who is Nikita Dragovich? So I'm going to try to get through this part of the video relatively quickly. Nikita Dragovich was essentially the main bad guy in Black Ops 1. You see, Nikita Dragovich was one of the people responsible for brainwashing Alex Mason. As we know, in Black Ops 1, Alex Mason goes to Vorkuta prison, in which he ends up getting brainwashed by Nikita Dragovich, Lev Kravchenko, and Frederick Steiner. Now, as the game progresses, what we find out is that in the past, during World War II, Dragovich was one of the people responsible for going and getting Nova 6 gas and then propagating it, bringing it to Rebirth Island, and with the help of Dr. Frederick Steiner, building it up and creating it into what we know it is today, and basically the mass production of it on Rebirth Island. However, the thing that a lot of people don't realize about Black Ops 1 is it was originally written as a standalone story until its massive popularity. What I mean by this is that the story in Black Ops 1 can stand alone without any of the other games and make complete sense. For example, if you look at the other bad guys in the game, you have Frederick Steiner, who is the doctor responsible for creating Nova 6 gas. He is shot in the face by Alex Mason, and as you know, my rule with Call of Duty games is if you don't see someone die, they're probably not dead. Well, we saw Frederick Steiner die, and he is very much so dead. The second of the three bad characters in this game is Lev Kravchenko, and at a later point in the game, basically, Alex Mason gets in a fist fight with him, and then Frank Woods comes to his rescue, pulls a grenade off of him, and they both jump out a window. And this scene and this scene alone makes you think, well, Frank Woods is dead and Lev Kravchenko's dead. As we come to find out, that is not the case, because remember, if you don't see someone die, they are probably not dead. Well, this leads us to the final character, and the biggest and baddest of them all is Nikita Dragovich. Now, the reason why I say that is mainly because he is essentially the final boss of Black Ops 1, the final bad guy that you take on. You take him on in a submerged submarine, and essentially what ends up happening here is you get in a fist fight with him, you end up strangling him, and then the boat fills with water, and assumably he drowns. Now, an interesting bit of information about this one is that you see him die. You strangle him to death, and then he is submerged in water. Something that is pretty much surely responsible for his death. Well, that's what we're going to disprove today. Somewhat. You'll see what I mean. All right, so just a quick run through of the three characters and their kind of crossover with Black Ops Cold War. First of all, you have Frederick Steiner, and with Frederick Steiner, he gets shot in the face by Alex Mason, and he's dead. But we do see a little bit of him when they talk about Rebirth Island in Black Ops Cold War. We see him in some pictures, and his legacy is actually carried on through Stitch, one of the other chemists that works on Nova 6 gas. Then we have Lev Kravchenko. In Black Ops 1, he is out the window with Frank Woods and surely exploded, right? Well, wrong. As we find out in the KGB mission of Black Ops Cold War, when you go and sit at the big round table with all the fellow Russians, Lev Kravchenko is sitting there right in front of you talking. He is very much so alive, and in fact, later on in Firebase Z, we later find out that he also has a part to do with the Omega Group, and his storyline is surely to continue. On top of this, we also see Lev Kravchenko in Black Ops 2 as well, before he dies. Now, the mysterious one, Nikita Dragovich. In Black Ops 1, you drown him. You strangle him, he drowns in the water, or at least so we thought. And he is not seen in the Black Ops Cold War campaign or any of the cutscenes. However, there is something interesting. In the KGB mission, if you go to poison Charkov, what ends up happening is you go into his office and you hear him talking on the phone. And he says this.
Yes. No, tell Nikita no one else trusts him either. Why do you think no one wants
I
to
will
play
be at my
Glock with
desk
him
if you
anymore?
need anything else.
No, tell Nikita no one else trusts him either. That's why no one wants to play Druk with him, which is just a Russian card game. Now, this doesn't prove anything in and of itself. Nikita is an incredibly popular Russian name, and he could be talking really about anyone. It is a little bit interesting that a general in the KGB is the one that is saying this, because Nikita Dragovich was a major general for the Spetsnaz, Soviet Army, and the KGB as well. So there'd be very few Nikitas that a army general like this would be very close with. So it just starts to set off some alarm bells, if you will. And when I talked about this in a video prior, I said the same thing. This doesn't prove that he's alive. It just puts that idea in your head. Well, that is until recently, until the map Golova was somewhat released. So this map is not actually fully released yet, but we have information on it, and you can play it in the Zombies Outbreak mode. Soon, this will be a Fireteam Dirty Bomb map, but let me just read to you the background of this map. This Russian village, located within the picturesque Ural Plains, but beneath its surface, it holds a dark secret embedded by its designer and creator, Nikita Dragovich. A testing ground for the expansion of the Numbers program, Golova features plenty of close quarters combat opportunities and blah blah blah. The rest doesn't matter. The important part there is the designer of this town is Nikita Dragovich to expand on the Numbers program. Now, as we know, the Numbers program was essentially first tested on Alex Mason in Black Ops 1. But again, this doesn't necessarily prove anything. Yes, Nikita Dragovich is behind this, but he could have created this town during World War II or during the time of Black Ops 1 before his untimely demise on that submarine. Now, if you go and actually look around this map a little bit, you'll notice that there's plenty of bulletin boards with the same sort of papers over and over and over again until you go to the police station. Inside the police station, there is something that is not in any of the other buildings, and it is a wanted poster. This is a wanted poster for Nikita Dragovich. Now, it doesn't say his name on the poster, but he marks an uncanny resemblance to Nikita Dragovich. He has the same broken nose as Dragovich. He is actually wearing the same shirt and the same jacket as in his CIA mugshot. In his CIA mugshot, he has kind of like this turtleneck on with a jacket over top, and in the sketch, he has the exact same thing on. It appears as though he is wanted by the Russian police. And upon reading the poster, it somewhat starts to make more sense. The top says wanted by the police. Underneath that, in the red writing, the Russian translates to attack. Now, I don't know why it just says attack. Maybe he's wanted for the attack in Black Ops 1. It's kind of like he pulled off some massive war crimes in Black Ops 1, and then he is wanted for that. And then the bottom simply says, if you know any information about this, please contact the police, and it gives them a phone number. I tried calling the phone number. It's out of service. So when I look at these sort of things, when I think of these kind of Call of Duty conspiracy theories, if you will, one time is a coincidence. The second time you start to speculate. The third thing basically confirms it. So this tells us that Nikita Dragovich is alive at the time of Black Ops Cold War. But the question here is how? We saw him die at the end of Black Ops 1. Well, just because you strangle someone doesn't necessarily mean they're dead. You can essentially put them to sleep, temporarily stop the blood flow to their brain. And one thing that we didn't account for at the end of Black Ops 1 was Lev Kravchenko still being alive. And this one thing that we didn't account for in Black Ops 1 can absolutely be the reason why Dragovich is still alive. If Lev Kravchenko was still on the boat in Black Ops 1, it would explain how Dragovich could get out alive. Lev Kravchenko goes in, brings Nikita Dragovich out of the water, and escapes underwater on either another vessel or swims to the surface and somehow goes undetected by the United States Marines. Now, this would also explain how in the KGB mission, Lev Kravchenko is working with the KGB and Colonel Charkov is talking to someone named Nikita. They're still all in bed together, if you will. And this would also explain why he's being hunted by the Russian police. On the surface, he's a war criminal, and that's how Russia wants you to see him, but underneath, he is still working for the KGB, the Soviets, and working with Lev Kravchenko and the Nova 6 gas compound. This explains a lot about what is going on behind the scenes, and furthermore answers that question why Charkov is talking to someone by the name of Nikita on that phone in the first place. So, to summarize this, Dragovich is still alive, he's being hunted by the Russian police, but underground it appears as though he is still working with the KGB, and based off of the map Golova, he could very well still be working on that numbers project. So, hopefully I was able to explain this well for you guys, but it very much appears that Nikita Dragovich is live and well and still kicking with the KGB and the Soviets. And it's going to be interesting to see how this plays in with the future. The fact that they directly brought his name up in relation to the Golova and have his picture on the map, to me, very much so means we are going to be seeing some more from him in the future. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Do you disagree with me? Do you agree? Do you have some other theories about it? Let me know down in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, always appreciate it if you hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, like what you see and want to stay up to date on all my videos, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn notifications on, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the stars, but